good to be out. So hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tuesday afternoon, a wee sneak out after work, and it was a bit of a flat day, not an awful lot happening. I thought there was a break in the weather, so a wee window of opportunity. So I thought I'd nip out, and this is my first chance to try a tent. I've had a couple of weeks now, I've been trying to try it, just never had a chance. So that's really my main excuse for coming out, expecting a bit of wind, a bit of rain during the night. Other than that, not a lot, but that should be a good wee test of it. And just because it's getting dark so early, I'm going to have to live in it for a good number of hours before I sleep. So we'll see if it's big enough as well. So what was really nice, having had just a boring day, nothing much happening, was the park ranger that I met in the car park. He said he watches my channel and really likes the content. So I don't know your name, but thank you very much for that. That buoyed me up today. So I've got a delivery coming between 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and 11, which means I've got to be back quick. So I've chosen my usual test ground, which is very close, well, close-ish to the house on the other side of the city. And it always provides a really good test area, which I'm hoping we'll get tonight. It was pretty windy coming up. It's gone very calm here, but we'll see how windy it is once we get onto the ridge. Good to see the burns flowing again, so there's definitely been a lot of rain recently. These have been dry for weeks, if not months, some of these streams here. So much so that I just brought my own water just in case, but now regretting that extra couple of kilos. Could have done without it and just picked up on the move. So now that I've cut off the path, I'm taking the line of least tick resistance, because it's often a tick fest up here. Very bad with the sheep and the odd deer around here, so try and avoid getting bitten alive. As many of you will know, I am a tick magnet. Sadly, not a chick magnet, a tick magnet. Unfortunately, that's the rain just coming on. Hoping that'll just be a light shower, because I can't be bothered putting my waterproofs on yet, and I'd rather get pitched in the dry if I can. A bit threatening over there. Yeah, so basically tonight the tent is a big thing for me. I want to try that. I've also got another one coming tomorrow. There'll be no surprises there, which is really similar. And also possibly at a bargain price compared to the 280 that I paid for this one. So yeah, I'll do a separate video on that when I can. For the moment, this will be a proper field test. I've also got a new torch from Woobin, which I want to try as well. Thanks to Woobin for that. And I've also got a new watch, but there's a bit of an embargo on that, so yeah, I can't really show you an awful lot on that just now. I'm going to head up to another plateau up here that I've never camped on and see if that's any good. It'll be very exposed from all angles, but that might not be a bad thing in terms of testing the tent. He says he hits a marsh. I'll bring you back when I jump over this. Oh yeah, and I've also got another camera from SVGo, a wee action cam, which has got a separate night lens, so I'm keen to try that at night and see just how good it is compared to the normal action cam. Is it any better? Having two lenses to choose from, depending on the conditions. Maybe over there. Yeah, this could work. It looks a bit rocky, but give it a try. A lot of sheep shit about, but I can get rid of that. This might work in here. Either way, when the wind tacks, I should be basically end on, I hope. Well, I'm hoping you can hear me over the wind, because at the moment I can't find my microphone, which is typical of me. But the tent I'm going to use tonight is my first chance to try the Otimos X-Lite Nomad 1, supposedly 4 season, and I think it'll be a good test tonight with the winds when they get up and the rain. There's quite windy, so what I'm going to do is try and do what Stephen, Geordie Wild Camper, had a wee bit of a mare with. I'm going to try and set the poles up on the ground and then pop it up at the last minute because it's quite windy and I think I will struggle a bit like him. So we'll see if that's a technique that works any better. Right, I am pretty happy with that. Actually, it was a strong breeze, but by putting the head in and then putting the guys on early, I found it was okay. So rather than hold it on the ground for as long as I needed to, I just put it up. And as you can see, the wind is coming in this way, so I've gone head into wind, which might seem a bit, shadow here, it might seem a bit counterintuitive, but I'm thinking that provides a bit more strength, possibly because the smaller panels are braced. Then when I'm coming to open the door and cook, I'm out the wind at the moment, though I do expect that to reverse tonight, so we'll get a feel for whether it just how it handles depending on the wind direction. So we'll get two opposite winds, hopefully. We'll see how it goes, but for the moment, yeah, absolutely solid. Very confidence inspiring actually. Once you cinch up those straps on the third pole and the one at the back, as you can see just over there, yeah, the whole thing kind of just buckles down, if you like, just kind of hunkers down. Should be a strap in here somewhere. Yep, there you go. That clips on the pole. Kept a little boot locker, or whatever you want to call it, gear locker in here. This tray ground sheet thing. It probably would save 100 grams or so if I dumped it, and I'm not sure yet whether it is a novelty or not. But I'll use it tonight and see. By the morning I should know whether it's something you want to keep on it or just leave behind. The door opens nicely. I actually haven't put the ground sheet under this yet. I'm wondering if I should. It's quite thin. Give the ground sheet some protection at the main pressure points where I'm lying and sitting and cooking. It's not brilliant, but it'll do. Right, we'll sort out all our gear. It's a cracking view though, I have to say. I've got more of a 360 at this point. This is a wee area I've not actually camped on. It's still in Loch Lomond's side, just off the West Highland Way. And those of you local will recognise it straight away. But never camped on this plateau up here. It's probably the highest point. It's quite exposed. But I'm thinking, I want to try this tent out and I want to give you guys an idea if it is good in nice windy conditions. I had a Fjallraven Abisko Light 1 up here and far too noisy, sold it very quickly. The original Vern 1, even with the crossing pole, again struggling with some of the winds up here. You might have noticed there, this boot tends to blow up in the wind. The air getting under the tent is inflating it and turning it inside out. So I've just stuck that big litre of water at the end to hold it in place. So I've brought the big comfy Nortent Torv 7 mat tonight for maximum comfort, and it literally just about fills the whole tent. This is the Woobin X4 torch I was telling you about. I think it's about 1500 lumens. They're very good value when you look them up online. I'll put a link below. I really like them because they're solid metal construction. A wee bit on the heavy side maybe for this size, but you've got the main lights here, and you've got these slider controls here, and then you've got internal lighting or side lighting with RCB, I think it's called. So you get different colours, you can control the actual light and the brightness via this dial here. Magnetic base as well, so I can clip it onto a metal surface if I'm working. And for internal lighting and for blowing this big mat up, I brought the flex tail pump, which I don't really like carrying because it's slightly bulky compared to some of the ultralight ones I've got, but it will double up as a light, which I really need for these long winter nights. This will be useful, just clipped up the top there. It means I can talk to you on camera and you can actually see me. And as a wee concession to luxury tonight, I brought the wee serotonin table, complete with games and notes inside it. You may remember this from a few months back. I think I used it when I was up in the Cairngorms Bivian. But yeah, I quite like this. More so that it just means I can cook a wee bit more safely. So I've got a nice wee solid platform and it's not too much weight. Basically, fills up the whole tent apart from the triangle at the back, which I've got my sleeping bag in and my warm kit, and I'll get that out in just a second. You can probably hear it's pretty windy. It's whistling over the tent. I don't know what that is, probably, I don't know, gusting 30s, I suspect. Wee bit of bowing on the tent at the front, just hoping those poles hold okay. Not too shabby, a wee view. If I take you out and show you, swing round. There you go. Sunset. So, sleep set up tonight. As I said, the North Tent Torv 7, which is taking up virtually all the tent. And I've got a wee Trekology pillow there, which the strap just goes round that and no more. And then my Simond MT900 down bag rated to 0. So yeah, it's a bit of a go-to, as many of you will know. I have never used anything else, even though I do have the big North tent for the sub-zero conditions. So what am I thinking of the wee boot? I actually really liked it when I put everything in it. I thought it's great the way it keeps everything dry, clean, away from the ticks and the mud and the poo. And then I thought, I'm not really getting anywhere to put my rucksack. So I guess you could stand it, but what I've done is I've put it underneath here, which means this doesn't work quite as well, but at least it gets the pack out the road and under cover. So yeah, a wee bit tight in space in that respect. This wind is meant to die down tonight, but it's 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. There's no signs of it dying down yet. You can probably see it across the loch down there. You can probably just tell by the way the wind and the waves are going. It's a lot more stable with that table than my previous trip, which if you've watched it, you'll see I nearly dropped the pot. And Jan bought me a couple of pot noodles for my birthday last week, so yeah, be rude not to. Definitely easier to cook with a head in the wind, because you've got this windshield area here from the vestibule, just keeps everything nice and steady and under cover. The only thing is, above me here, I'm not actually sure whether rain would drip into the inner. It's pretty much in line with the inner, so that's something to consider. I'll try it. We'll find out tomorrow, because I believe it's going to be heavy rain. Right, coffee on now and some Maltesers. Had my yogurt. It is getting a wee bit dark now. I don't know what time it is. I am guessing 8 o'clock. Right, it's getting pretty dark, so I've got the light on in the tent now, but I'm going to try out this wee SVGo camera. I'm going to put it in the night lens and try that and just see if it's any better than the phone at the moment. I think I'm using a Pixel 7 Pro, so it'll be interesting to see whether the SVGo actually picks up better footage than this does. So I don't know if you can hear me because the audio in this is not good, but this is the SVGo shooting at dusk, just right round on the night vision camera. So I'm on the kind of second lens. That's you looking up towards Conic Hill there, and then over towards Ben Lomond, which is now in Clag and Cloud, and then north up the loch. And then a wee shot of the tent itself. That looks quite good on my screen on the action cam. So I don't know if you can hear me, but the wind has just died completely, exactly as forecast actually. High clouds coming in for rain for tomorrow. I'm going to check the forecast again and just see what to expect. But yeah, so far in the wind, pretty impressed. A bit of a bowing at the front and this panel here, the side panels. But it's probably meant to designed to perform better with a narrower end into the wind. But I did like this for cooking and for cover. This one's handy if you want to pretend you're the police, incidentally. Pop that in your dashboard and you'll soon get people slowing down or pulling over for you. There you go, that's it on its wee ambient setting for inside the... I say ambient, you can really crank that up and get quite a lot of power out of it for lighting up your tent. And that's it on normal torch. Again, I just use the wheel to bring it down, or I can crank it right up and it should click to tell me it's now on full power. Ah yeah, it's pretty good actually. One thing I am concerned about though is I may have a gear failure. The North Tent Torv 7 appears to be, I've now blown this up twice in the last couple of hours and it's going soft again. I don't know if it's the sheer volume, and when the air is cold it just seems to go down quite a bit because of the sheer size of it. However, I may have a slow, and I've heard of this problem with the North Tent Torv 7 before. It's been fine up until now, but I've probably only had 2 or 3 nights in it, and it was absolutely spot on. But tonight, it does seem a bit soft. I'll let you know how that goes in the morning. Well, it's pretty damn dark now, so I think I'm going to try this wee SVGo action cam again in the pitch black and just see what, if anything, it picks up. Just having a wee look at this canopy idea. So if I get a guy line and put it on this pole here, then yeah, you could create a kind of fairly sheltered area for cooking, which would make it a wee bit more tolerable in the rain. That's the wee Otimos X4 on its normal torch setting. I don't know if you'll get it on the phone, but I am actually managing to just light the hill about half a mile away. Yeah, that's pretty damn soft again. This is why I like the light tour with the dual chamber, because you don't get total failure in situations like this. I mean, I think with your weight spread on it, I'll probably get away with it during the night, at least I hope I will. But yeah, it's not good. So, the gear bin, verdict, that's a hit. I actually really like that because I can keep everything nice and dry and I know where everything is, because I'm a disaster area. I lose things under the ground sheet, I leave things outside. This has just been much better. Observations now I'm in the tent. These vents, not so much this side at the moment. This side, quite a lot of cold air coming in. So there's definitely plenty of air circulation. The only thing with that is, as a 4-season tent, I would like to be able to close this off. So yeah, Otimos, if you watch this, it would be nice to think about being able to seal these. As a proper 4-season tent, it would just help extend its usability. Anyway, if nothing else happens, I'll bring you guys back in the morning, and I'll update you then on how we got on with the rain during the night. Cheers just now. 10 to 5. Just blown the mat up for about the 5th time. Back to sleep. Well, as you can probably hear, it is just after 6 in the morning, and it was a very calm night for quite a long time, and then in the last couple of hours the winds really picked up as forecast, and in the last 2-3 hours it rained pretty incessantly. The wind has tacked around, so it's now, I think, rather than coming straight in from the east, it's coming in from the side. So there's a wee bit of incursion on the inner tent here. And it's getting a fair old rattling, but the frame itself is very strong and probably more wind resistant, as I thought, from the narrow side. But it is just affecting my space slightly in the inner here. But yeah, you do feel a fair amount of breeze coming through the vents, so I'd really like to see that more solid or zippable. Anyway, I'm going to get packed up, and I'm not even going to bother with breakfast. I don't think. I might have a quick coffee just to test if I can cook inside here without opening any of the doors. But overall, very confidence inspiring actually. It is a very stable tent. What I'm impressed with is how quiet it is, and I think that's because the panels are all nicely braced and it's quite a slippery shape generally. At its weight, it's pretty good. Obviously anything over 2 kilos will give you a bit more protection, so it's no QU Stormstar, that's for sure, and that would still be my first choice in the mountains for very extreme weather, whereas I think this would struggle and also be a bit drafty and cold in the middle of winter. And I'm very disappointed with the Torv 7 mat. That was a real bummer. I must have blown that up about 4 or 5 times last night. When it's up, it's super comfortable. I really love the comfort on it. I have to say, I get the best sleep. And in between blowing it up, I nodded off really nicely. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It's the valve, maybe. It's such a slow leak. I mean, it takes a couple hours to go down gently. I suspect it's probably the valve, or maybe there's a seam edge or something, I don't know. Anyway, I'll have a word with North Tent about that one. The door is shut. If you watch this, look, the wind is pushing the doors in because it is definitely behind the narrow end of the tent now, so it's a wee bit sketchy. Maybe I should move it slightly, hold on. Alright, put it a bit there, probably safer. Yeah, just enough room to cook with the door closed. Hopefully this vent above you will allow the steam to escape. Stop raining, which I think is my cue to get this tent down and get out of here before it comes on again. The wind is coming from your right, straight along the narrow side of the tent. And I would say, yeah, probably quieter in that direction. But there is a wee bit of cramping of the interior. Anyway, I stayed dry, I stayed very warm, and it survived the winds, which is more than I can say for some of the tents up here. So I hope you can make up your own decisions about what you think of the tent so far. I've got another one coming which is very similar. It arrives today, and I'd like to show you the two of them back to back, and then I can decide maybe which one I want to keep, if I keep either of them, to be honest. But yeah, I'm overall pretty impressed. It's a good all-rounder, but it's not for extreme mountain conditions, I would say. It is no Hilleberg Solo. So thank you for watching. I'm going to finish the coffee and I'm going to hit the road. And I'll see you soon. Cheers. As always, leave no trace. Time to go. Okay, let's go. See you soon.